All right, it says I'm live again, and you've got a live kitty view there. There's almost a kitty nose. There's a kitty nose. Yeah. What are you looking for? You came up here and you started playing with things. All right, I am back. That was an important phone call. I actually have a musical gig tomorrow, so yeah, a little bit earlier than what I was expecting. So, yay. I still have to practice. So, all right, well, I'm going to go to the remote view here. And whoop, we're sinking down a little bit there. Don't want to lose too many of these data points. The mid-eclipse. So this is what's called an eclipsing binary or an eclipsing variable star. So what's happening is that this is some kind of a binary star system. Now we can't see the individuals because they are so close to one another. We can't separate them. They just look like one star. But we notice in a very, very periodic and mostly predictable way, in this case, every I think like 1.78 days, this star for about 5 hours or 6 hours or so dims, and it dims at a certain rate, and then it comes to a low point, and then it brightens back up again, and then 1.78 days later it does it again, and actually right in between those two low points is also a low point, but not quite as low. So what's happening, I don't know if this is going to be in view or not. So here, the only way that I can tell is if I do that, because then I can see myself. So I don't have work really well. These are, well, thumb drives, but yeah, that's not really a good example. The point is that you've got these two stars, and they are different in some way. And they actually don't even have to be different, but they're aligned such that from our line of sight, one of them passes in front of the other, and then when it comes around, it actually goes behind. So when the two stars, as seen by us, are like this, then we're seeing light from both stars, right? Both stars. But as this guy comes around and blocks this one, right, then you're not seeing light from both stars anymore. And if it wasn't a perfect eclipse, you would see the light star, right? But it isn't a perfect eclipse. Usually one star is larger than the other, or it isn't going exactly through the center of the star, that kind of thing. So and then I mean there's all kinds of other things of looking at the stellar environment, its atmosphere, just all kinds of neat things there. So yeah, it'll go through a primary minimum when one star is in front of the other, sort of the orbiting one is in front of sort of the stationary one. And then you'll have another eclipse when it goes behind this one, because again, there is less light. So there are actually two minima with these kinds of objects. And the primary minimum is going to be happening at 4:59 UTC today. So right now it's 2:40 UTC. So I've got another 2 hours before this guy right here, its minimum. Now, I already know, looking at some other data, that the entire dimming event lasts about 6 hours. So I'm actually not going to catch the whole thing. I'm going to go, let's see, 4:59 UTC to me is 9:59 p.m. So 10 p.m. is when it's at its minimum. I'm catching it. I've been doing this for about 45 minutes now or so. I started astronomical twilight at the end of astronomical twilight, which was 6:57 p.m. local time. Doesn't look like anybody has found me over here yet. So, all right, well, that's okay. That's okay. I'm probably not going to keep this live stream thing going for very much longer, but I just wanted to document it and let everybody know that I'm doing just fine. Just doing just fine. Except for a little bit of congestion, with some allergies, which haven't had allergies like this out here since we moved here. This has been sort of the strongest year yet. So, there's something special in the air that has got me going. But no, it feels so good to cough. Just, as long as I don't have to do it like constantly. But it actually feels really, really nice. Now, the seeing right now is looking pretty good out there. I'm looking at these two fate stars here, and they look pretty tiny. So that's pretty impressive. This is the oh, okay. I don't think I finished my story about how I set up the remote stuff. So yeah, I woke up that next morning, and into my head flew this image, and I thought about it, and it's like, you know what? I can do that. I can do that. The only piece that I didn't have that was incredibly easy to install, and what makes all this go, is this thing called TeamViewer, and it's just a remote desktop application, and it allows you to log into any computer that you know the ID and password, and you can remotely control it. And so it's all I had to do was put a USB network dongle on this thing, so it can connect to my Wi-Fi, and then I run TeamViewer on it, and I'm running TeamViewer on my Linux machine, and I just TeamViewer in, and voila. So this thing is a software panel, which I installed on this, and I said, I don't know why I would ever use that. So, you know, I didn't even bother to uninstall it, right? But no, that's also part of what makes this all go, is that I have this remote control thing, which is probably out of date and not available anymore. I have no idea. I have no idea at all. But no, this is looking really, really good. And it's really, really awesome because I can sit here. Okay. Here, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. I've got a kitty in the lap, but I'm gonna show you. There's my slippers. Wearing slippers and collecting data. So pretty fun, pretty awesome. I think, you know, as I said, I'm going to be up for quite a while here. I'm going to be collecting a lot of data. A lot of data. This data comes in every 6 seconds. So the tracking tonight looks really, really good. So I'm not having to tweak it very much. There is always field rotation. So unfortunately, I think these things are going like this, which means at some point, you know, I mean, isn't it just how things are that it's like, you know, the one star that I really, really need to be in the field of view as a reference is just far enough away that it puts it right on the edge of the field of view. It's not fair. It's not fair at all. So we'll see how all this goes. We'll see how it pans out. But no, it is it is definitely rotating that way. And I cannot rotate my camera. I would completely ruin my flat field. All my calibrations would be junk, and so all this data would be absolutely worthless. So yeah, I think I'm just going to have to see how this goes. It's yeah, dang, it's almost a case where it's like, you know what? This is just, it's almost the wrong season. You know, because if it were, you know, even a little bit higher like this, right? Then at least I would have a little bit of time. But I mean, I've been looking at this I started looking at this yeah, this time an hour ago, I was looking at it for sure. It was in the scope. I had it set up just like this. So yeah, it's been an hour, and that has definitely become a more difficult thing. And that's a real error. That's a bummer. Because what's going to end up happening in half an hour is this star is going to go way down here, and this star is going to go way up here. Something like that. Both of these stars are going to be right on the edge, right on the edge of the field of view. And that is not fair. It's not fair at all. But what can you do? So yeah, this may not be the season for this particular object, because I'm going to lose it here, right? I'm going to absolutely lose it. within the next 30 minutes. Yeah, field rotation is a thing. Dang. Yeah, that's a bummer. I've got a kitty on the lap, nice and warm. But no, I lost. Oh, I hear a howling kitty. I'll be right back. Okay, you watch the kitty on the lap is now hovering in midair. There we go. All right, these, make sure they don't move. And if they do, push those buttons. Okay, you don't have to worry about these. Push these buttons. Okay, yeah, I will be, well, there's a kitty now. So, look, I will be right back. Just like momentarily. All right. I'll be right back. Watch the kitty and watch the stars up here. Make sure they stay. All right, I'm gonna exit these waters now. So thanks everybody for coming in. Well, peace, cheers, and all that. I will see you later. Bye.